pula guys. Assalamualaikum and good evening everyone. Today in this forum we will be going to talk about a very interesting topic, which is the importance of computers. Before we dig deeper into the topic, I would like to welcome all of our panelists that joined us today. Our first panelist here is the founder of online business company, which is Mr. Iskandar Zulkarnain. How are you feeling today, Mr. Iskandar?
Hi, I'm feeling good. How about you?
Thank you for asking. I'm feeling well today. And we have our second panelist here, which is Miss Siti Munirah binti Zulkimi, which is the animation director of Let's Compact Production. Hi, Miss Munirah.
Hi, hello. Thank you so much for inviting me.
No problem, Miss Munirah. And we have the head engineer of Biotechno Engineering Sdn Bhd, which is Mr. IFWAT AMZAR binti AMIRHAM. Hi,
Hi.
Mr. IFWAT.
Hi.
Are you feeling well today, Mr. IFWAT?
Yes, I'm feeling well today. The weather is good for our forum for today, yeah?
Wow, that's good to hear. And we have our last panelist, which is the senior IT lecturer of FTSM UKM, which is Professor QISTINA ALIA binti SHAZALI. Hi, Professor QISTINA.
Hello, thank you for inviting me.
That's not a problem at all. And now that we introduce all of our panelists, we will be going deeper into our topic, which is the importance of computer. And as we know, as some of you might know, actually, computer was invented in 1822, and it was as a whole room. But now computer has evolved ever since, and computer has become essential for everyone in every field, especially in certain big field such as business, medical, education, and even communication. And in that, in what way actually computer helps us, and how far computer has brought us from back then. A lot of people, especially teenagers, grow up and live in their life with the aid of computer, and they don't really know how to live without computers nowadays. And today we will gather here to highlight how important computers have become and how computers evolved the world. And the first question I want to ask to our first panelist, which is Mr. Iskandar Zulkarnain. As a successful businessman, do you use a lot of computers?
Thank you for asking. Yes, I do. As in my daily life and my business, I did use a lot of computer.
Wow. How computers change the business world, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I agree with the statement of this topic as it helps smoothen our daily working tasks. Computers are necessities in our daily life. Having a computer helps in various tasks in working sector, especially business. Aspect that I would like to elaborate more will be on the impact of the computer in business. Computer helps in marketing through ads, social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and content creation. Next, computer also helps in data management by storing and accessing on the fly in the database. It also benefits in enterprise planning for accounting and human resource. In the aspect that have been mentioned, there's a various ways computer contribute into marketing. The article entitled 5 IT Functions in the Organization written by Nikki Lamarco states that the IT department can help in marketing function of a business in numerous ways. Computer continue with 4 main points provided in the article, which are content creation, online advertising, e-commerce, and marketing research. The first point, the article states that you can also create a beautiful graphics ads using powerful computer with graphic capabilities. This explains how computers assist a company to attract more customers through the graphic ads. Next point, the article mentions that by launching a social media marketing campaigns, the IT department can improve sales and increase revenue. From this statement, the business can tremendously gain profit through the wide exposure online advertisement. Last point for this aspect is elaborated in the article. Use the computer has become invaluable to how you conduct our business and sells our products and service. This explains the importance of e-commerce in the modern day. Moving on to the next aspect, which is data management. The author emphasizes in the article with the increasing complexity of the world of business comes an increment amount of data that businesses have to deal with, showing how detrimental data management in the business. The author also explained that a database allows us to store vast amount of data in a small space. This data can be managed, including analyzing it and drawing conclusions from it, and provide the security measures that will safeguard the data and prevent unauthorized access to it, explaining about storing, managing, and accessing data from the database. And finally, for the final aspect, which is enterprise resource planning, the author saying that enterprise resource planning is all about linking the different functions of an organization, such as accounting, human resource, manufacturing, and sales, using software system. With follow-up statement, this system can help in operation as well as strategic decision making, emphasizing the good effect of enterprise resource planning towards small and growing business due to scalability growth parallel to business growth. I will pass next to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Iskandar, for your opinion. And Mr. Iskandar has provided a really good points for the importance of computer in business. And as Mr. Iskandar said, that business can make that computers can make business much more easier for both entrepreneurs and even for the customers or consumers, as it provide a more secure and easy transactions. And with the help of databases and the software system, I I'm sure that a lot of heavy things that we need to do back then is becoming even easier for the business world, such as data management and everything else. And I would like to ask our second panelist here, which is Miss Siti Munirah. In your opinion, as an animation director, do you agree that computers and technologies plays a huge role in entertainment and communication industry?
Okay, thank you to our moderator for the question. Firstly, I actually do agree that computer really plays a huge role in entertainment. So, firstly, I think that computer isn't limited to the area where we most expect to find it, such as business and industry. It also widely used in entertainment and arts world. These are almost as many applications as there are entertainers and artists. People look forward to the entertainment for recreation so that they can reduce the stress and strain of their complex machines like schedules. All of our traditional entertainment utilities such as music, movies, sports, games, and many more are now affected by the computer IT. And one can have all these services sitting home and enjoying themselves. So, computers are used in entertainment to create or enhance production or performance. The tools has become so sophisticated that it is becoming almost impossible to distinguish between the real and the artificial in the films and photography. So if you have seen movies like Titanic, Matrix, Jurassic Park, or any cartoons on any television TV channels, can you really question the importance of computers in film industry, right? Because you can see with the aids of sophisticated graphics and animation package, the special effect technicians can create any illusions for the um, entertainment for our TV channel. And I think that computers help in improving productivity by automating time-consuming, repetitive, and monotonous processes. They give the movie makers a lot by giving them the power to create the kind of special effects that they want. And we can also see as in the aspect of animation in early days, such as the cartoon of you guys should know that Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunners were laboriously hand drawn, and hundreds of thousands of frames is needed for each cartoon. But now computers are doing much of the repetitions work, and the computers can create uh, um, elements like outer space, alien characters, and extinct animals, and so on, without the need of creating their physical models. The filmmakers then integrates these backgrounds and characters with the real characters seamlessly. As for example, in such as Jurassic Park, where they create the dinosaurs without actually having to have the physical models. So to sum up everything, computers have their application or utilities everywhere, and we find that application is almost in almost every spheres of life, particularly in fields where computation are required to be done and at a very fast speed, and where the data is complicated for the human brain to find it difficult to cope with. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Munirah. And I do agree with that because with the help of computer, the animators or the directors' imagination is limitless because the computers can help to make even more special effects and sound effects and visual effects. And we can see more obviously on the Jurassic Park series, which is the difference between the first Jurassic Park and the latest Jurassic Park. You can see the difference. It is really obvious because the first they use real things just like as mascot, and now they use a visual effect which is making it more realistic. And I do agree that it become even really easier for to make cartoons nowadays because the directors and the animators can draw only one characters and they can use it for every frame. They don't have to draw every frame, and that is really time consuming. So we're moving on to our third panelist, which is Mr. Ifwat. As we know, computer has evolved the medical world in a lot of ways. Can you tell us how computers change the medical sector?
Okay, thank you to the moderator. Okay. I wanted to say that I agree with the topic that computers are essential in this modern day and age. And I believe that in the future, there will be a time where computers are going to be as complex as the human brain, perhaps becoming not only just a mere tool for us, but as a way of life embedded into our own bodies. As for the questions, well, it is true that computers have evolved the medical world in a lot of ways. Talking about computers in general will take a lot of time because computers aren't just the one we use in our life. It ranges from the smallest computer that have one function and one function only to the supercomputer that NASA uses. Because of this, I would like to focus more on one aspect of the computer, especially one aspect during the surge of the fourth industrial revolution, which is artificial intelligence, shortened to just AI. Before we get into it, what is AI? In a nutshell, AI is the simulation of human intelligence processed by machines, especially computer systems. Hence, the name artificial intelligence. Think of it as robots you see in movies, capable of thinking for themselves. Opposite of artificial intelligence is natural intelligence, displayed by human and animals, which involves consciousness and emotionality. AI programming focuses on three cognitive skills, which are learning, reasoning, and self-correction. Learning aspect of AI focus on acquiring data and creating rules for how to turn the data into actionable information. Rules in AI are called algorithms, provide the machines with instruction for how to complete a specific task. Reasoning aspect of AI focus more on choosing the right algorithm to reach a desired outcome. And lastly, the self-correction aspect of AI focus more on continually fine-tuning algorithm and ensure that they provide the most accurate results as possible. Okay, now that's out of the way. One point that AI has changed the medical world is the potential of AI in healthcare industry. For example, the potential of AI in healthcare is the application of precision medicine, that is, predicting what treatment protocols are likely to succeed on a patient based on various patient attributes and the treatment context. AI is also involved in creation, understanding, and classification of clinical documentation and published research where AI can analyze unstructured clinical notes on patients, prepare reports, transcribe patient interaction. In other words, it normalizes the method instead of having different methods by different people, which can lead to confusion. Okay, in the article written and led by Via Sha'ar in 2020, AI is being used to analyze and prepare us for prevention and fight with the COVID-19 pandemic and other pandemics that are to come. AI helps in early detection and diagnosis of the infection by analyzing irregular symptoms and other red flags, alarming the patients and the healthcare authorities. AI can also build an intelligent platform for an automatic monitoring and prediction of the spread of the virus. It can help analyze the level of infection by identifying clusters, where it can do contact trace of the individual and monitor them. In other words, AI can predict the future cause of the disease and its likely recurrence. This is supported with the fact that Malaysia too has implemented the usage of AI in order to curb the pandemic. Telekom Malaysia Berhad, or better known as TM, has rolled out early warning alert and response, or better known as EWA system, through its innovation arm, TM Research and Development, or better known as TM R&D. The system will detect individuals in a crowd with higher body temperature, one of the common symptoms of COVID-19. The company claimed that EWAS offers real-time monitoring that can mass detect abnormal temperatures of approximately 15 individuals per second at a time. Okay, with AI, it can predict the individual age and gender and keep track of where the person is going. So that is all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ifat. Mr. Ifat has said the introduction of the artificial intelligence in the health industry. And as Ifat has said, and as I can see, uh, artificial intelligence provides the easier works for health officer because they can do their work easier because they don't have to worry about such a little things. And then it will really impact our humans' life, especially in this pandemic, which is as Ifat has said, to analyze the symptoms. So if we can analyze the symptoms earlier, then we can prevent it, uh, prevent the pandemic faster than we have now. And I believe that it can lower the rate of health cases, especially the pandemic cases in the world. And I want to ask the last question to Miss Professor Kistina. As a lecturer, you have seen a lot of learning scenarios in university. So, do you think computers are necessary for students nowadays? If so, why?
All right, thank you, moderator. So now for the question, do I think that computers are necessary for students nowadays? Well, the answer is a simple yes. Computers are pretty much an essential for everyone in the society these days as they contribute in assisting in a lot of different ways. The educational field is one of the field where it is prominent to have a computer no matter if the person is a teacher or a student. Okay, so since the question focuses on students, I would like to elaborate more on how important computers are for students. There are several aspects that contribute to this factor. Firstly, how computers give student convenience in a lot of ways. There are several ways computers provide convenience, such as firstly, how it's easier to do schoolwork. During the pandemic, almost all institutions are shut down, so students are left to attend online classes and learn by themselves. This is where computers play the role of attending on the role of make simply sorry. This is where computers play a role of making schoolwork easier, where it's either preparing a group project, attending classes, or simply typing an essay. As mentioned in the article, The 12 Benefits and Uses of Computer in Education by Vinay Prajapati, he stated that, and I quote, by just using this device, students can write and research their school works online. Next, still in the aspects of convenience, is how online resources are available for the students' convenience. A lot of educational articles and videos are always available to students online 24/7, and having a computer helps access all the information better, as most websites are better viewed on large screens rather than a smartphone. Proof is in the same article as quote, today the availability of a computer in education makes it a whole lot easier and faster to access everything you need to research. In just a few clicks, you can get all the answers you need for your school project. End of quote. Furthermore, computers help make tasks easier. Several universities have developed their own educational website for the purpose of online learning for their students. For example, University Bangsar Malaysia has developed UKM Folio for the convenience of sharing learning materials, submitting homeworks, quizzes, and also online examinations. As mentioned in the article, and I quote, all they do today, all they need to do is today is to log into their student account, pick up their assignment, and tap into the appropriate file. End of quote. So here the author states that how it is easier to have a single computer rather than multiple books on multiple subjects. Lastly, on the convenience aspect, is computers provide easy communication. I myself, as a lecturer, find it easier to keep in touch with my students through various platforms. The evidence for this aspect is when the author wrote, and I quote, communication has been made easier through the use of computers, especially for the students who are living far from their families. End of quote. In another paragraph, the author also wrote, quote, communicate with their classmates and teachers through email or other platforms for shared discussions and knowledge, end of quote, implying that computers do in fact help in communicating. So finally, I move on to the last aspect is how it delivers better opportunities for the students. So what I mean by this is that there are a lot of sponsorship programs that are only accepting online applications, and searching for sponsorship programs or any student beneficial programs in general are at least 100 times easier online. So having a computer would definitely get students better opportunities than in the physical world. The article states, and I quote, this way, they, the students, can find detailed information about them to see what fits them the best for their aspirations and success, decided accordingly. They can also interact with fellow professionals through messengers and learn from their experiences. End of quote. This part of the article is proof that students get better opportunities to build their character better and interact with professionals online to learn from their experiences. The next evidence written in another paragraph is quote, universities and colleges have a tremendous online presence. They are there to assist students in almost everything they want, from inquiring about admissions to assisting in the application and visa processes, payment, preparing for arrival, and many more. It has helped students and expands the reach for universities and institutions to attract the best students from around the world. End of quote. This clearly states how it provides students with better opportunities for the future education. To sum it all up, each student should get a computer mainly for the purpose of education, as it gives them a lot of benefit in the area. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Christina. And as Professor Christina has said, computers give a really much convenience to our student, and also for Professor Christina is herself, the lecturers. This is because students can have their resources in their bags. Back then, student have needs to go to the library to find some data or some notes for the topics or their subjects. But now they can really search it on their computers or even on their phones, and that provides a lot of time for student because they do not have to go to the library, and they can do it and do their research everywhere. And because of computers, online classes are also possible nowadays because of the communication. This and the introduction of the Microsoft Team and the Google Meet really helps the online classes to move on. I don't know how our classes will be happening if the pandemic is going on back then in the 19s or in the earlier 20s. We could not have online classes like nowadays. And As all of our panelists have stated, computers have completely evolved the world, especially in entertainment, medical, in business, and even in education. And computer has raised a lot of good students and even a great and healthy society. Computer have also saved a lot of life. Right now, computer are one of the important invention for human, and it continues to evolve. And I can guarantee that computers can even change the world even more. I just want to ask all of our audience today to make a really good use of computers and don't use misusing them. And if you use it in the right way, computers can even change your life. And before we end our forum, I would like to thank all of our panelists that joined us despite their busy schedules. And I want to thank all of the audience that listened to our forum throughout the end. Thank you.